Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone.
Hey.
Be in here, baby.
Hello.
Hello.
Wait. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hey, yo.
Hi.
What up? What up? Wait. There we go. That's better.
Yo, friendly, yo.
The graduates.
Hola, everybody.
Oh, we can talk. Yo.
Yeah, you guys can talk. Welcome to your graduation.
Yo,
Hello,
my man
everybody.
Christopher outside.
Yeah.
Hello.
Like not loud. Like you got they want me to do it.
Bring the heat, my son. Bring the heat.
Y'all ready? I love you. When I say UA, you say G. UA. G. UA. G. UA. G.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Lizzo and the New York Philharmonic as they welcome the graduates to the digital stage.
Congratulations to the class of 2020. Now let's turn it up.
Welcome, students, families, staff, and friends of UAG. It is my unique pleasure to officially commence this graduation ceremony for New Generation, the Urban Assembly Gateway School for Technology's graduating class of 2020. Always come prepared. Always come prepared. Senior year is always full of surprises, and this year and this ceremony are no exceptions. I am so glad to be sharing this moment with you all and know that while we cannot be all in the same space together, in our hearts, we are together. At this time, I'd like to introduce our first speaker to mark this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming your principal, Mrs. Dvorakovskaya, aka D.
Welcome, parents, staff, guests, all the unnamed Zoom users on the participants list, and the class of 2020. Seniors, from the first day of this school year, you came begging for more graduation tickets. I promised you that we had a plan in mind on how to get you additional tickets, that something was in the works. I promised you this was not the plan. The plan was a new venue. The plan was a drumline and a parade. The plan was to be with you, to hug you, but the plan was also to celebrate you. The plan was to see every single senior graduate, and that plan we have accomplished. 4 years ago, I met many of you for the first time. I was committed to remembering as many names as I could, but unfortunately it was a challenge. The only name I could remember was Greg, because he would not leave me alone, question after question after question. But as I made my way from group to group with Greg trailing behind me, meeting you, I remember thinking, these are the tiniest freshmen I have ever met. And I know you agree with me because you saw that UAG cheer in the beginning. You guys were so small. Another UAG tradition is at the end of freshman year, the incoming class gets to name themselves. Right now, the world has chosen to name you too. I'm sure you've heard it all. They're calling you the Corona class, the class of quarantine, the pandemic class. But 4 years ago, you actually came up with the best name for yourself, New Generation. You have already fully lived up to that name. As the new generation, you have done so much. To say you have adapted would be an understatement. You have recreated. Sure, you experienced some change in the 4 years at UAG, but the change that came March 15th was like no other. You've been disruptors, unwilling to accept anything that does not seem fair. When you came to UAG, we already had a uniform. I was excited. I figured, great, I won't have to convince them to wear one because they're gonna have one from day one. Boy, was I wrong. Even as freshmen, you immediately questioned the fairness of our policy and the fairness of our out to lunch policy and the fairness of our core value selection process and the fairness of our remote learning structures and the fairness of our Six Flags trips. You have been activists. You worked with the community to coordinate walkouts and protests. As sophomores, not yet eligible to vote, you helped organize a voter registration drive. You created a mock voting system so the entire community could experience the importance of voting. And now, at 18 and almost 18, I trust that you're going to do exactly what you did in UAG in the outside world. You are going to question the fairness of the system. I know you're going to make sure your voices are heard on election day. You've been resilient. You have overcome so much. At least 2 of you have done this independently without family support. And several of you have done this while juggling multiple jobs to support your family. Some of you have lost mothers, sisters, dads, friends, and especially during the last 3 months, some of you experienced loss that no adult should ever have to experience, let alone a teenager. But no matter the loss, none of you have lost your drive to keep going. You have been kind. And I'm not just talking about welcoming new transfer students to your class and new teachers to our school. I'm talking about more. Being clear is kind. You had difficult conversations with friends about racism. You had difficult conversations with us about gender identity and queerness. And kind doesn't seem like it would be difficult. But when it feels like the world might be letting you down, it's not easy to be kind. It's easier to be angry, but not you. You've been the rock when you needed a rock yourself. You have been community contributors and builders. Never before has a class done so much for the UAG community. Half of you are practically already staff members. And no, it does not mean you're getting one of those hoodies that say staff on the back. You've run our gold. You've represented our school at high school fairs and open houses. You've led tours for parents and partners. You have put DOE IT out of business at UAG. You've set up every computer on the 6th and 7th floor and have handled every network issue. You created our UAG band. You started the UAG basketball team. You have rebuilt our school website. You piloted the restorative justice initiative in our school. You have led circles with each other, with teachers, with principals, with freshmen. And when I asked for your help with freshmen, you rallied within a period and had the whole 9th grade understand what it means to stay to your right. When you witnessed freshmen acting anything outside the UAG way, even if it was a Taco Bell after school, you shut it down. Your contribution to UAG will last far beyond these 4 years. As we send you off to be the leaders and builders of today and tomorrow, we often feel compelled to offer you as much advice as humanly possible, or at least I do. Every year, I give the graduates the same pieces of advice, except this year, class of 2020, it's different. 1, be fearless. The people always have the power. Do not let anyone fool you into thinking you don't. Your power is in your vote. It is also in the money that you spend. It is in the words that you use. It is in the posts that you share. 2, know your worth. People will try to place a worth on you. Do not let them, and do not let them underestimate your worth. Please know each of you is valuable. You may have a different skill. You may have a different talent. You may have different expertise, but regardless, you are just as valuable, if not more. Let that value show up in the world, because power also comes from believing in yourself. And 3, be on the right side of the change. We're at a crucial moment in our country right now. The blatant acts of racism and violence are not a matter of opinion. The Black Lives Matter movement is not a matter of opinion. Where we are right now is not a matter of opinion. There is a right and there is a wrong. Be on the right side. This has been a challenging time. Being a student has been hard. Being a teacher has been hard. Being a principal has been hard. But the hardest job in the world is being a parent. And so I also want to take this moment to thank your parents. Parents, thank you. Thank you for all the hard work you put in to get your kids to us 4 years ago, and all the hard work to get them here today. Thank you for being true partners and trusting us with your most valuable asset, your kids. To the UAG staff, former, returning, and new, thank you. Thank you for giving our kids endless opportunities to succeed, even during the most difficult days, or in this case, the most difficult year. You give 101% of yourself to kids and to this incredible work. UAG is not just a school or a community. It is a family. We cry together, we struggle together, but we also laugh together and celebrate together. UAG is home. It is our home. It is your home. I thought I was gonna get through this without crying. New generation, you are continuing your journey elsewhere, but we carry great hope that you will never forget who you are. And wherever your journey leads, you can always come home. And depending on what happens in the future, there will always be room for you in the Zoom. You will be successful. You will be loved. But most of all, you will be missed. Congratulations, graduates.
We hope that you're enjoying the ceremony thus far. A graduation ceremony has always been the product of many, many hands and many, many hours. This is even more so the case this year, as we really called on both our school and our global community to make this remote graduation possible. Now, I say that to say that I never would have imagined in my wildest dreams that I will be introducing the following two speakers at a UAG graduation ceremony. But, like many things, through the magic of technology, things that were possibly unheard of are now possible. Our two speakers are no strangers to the world. They have used their platforms to champion against injustice, create awareness of global issues, and put their money where their mouths are. Most recently, they have called attention to the Black Lives Matter movement in response to the tragic killings of Black men and women in our country. This year is so different from most years for so many reasons, including the level of grief that many of us are carrying because of the coronavirus pandemic, as well as the racial injustice plaguing our lives. We thought it necessary to address how this joyous occasion is all the more important because of the state of the world. In times like these, communities are each other's strength, and words of truth, of hope, and of love are what heal. With that in mind, it is my great pleasure to introduce the wisdom and strength of two of my favorite sheroes, former First Lady Michelle Obama and the Queen Bee herself, Beyonce Knowles Carter, to you graduates on your special day.
Hey everybody, it is an honor to be here with you to help celebrate this amazing milestone in your lives.
To the class of 2020, you have arrived here in the middle of a global crisis, a racial pandemic, and worldwide expression of outrage at the senseless killing of yet another unarmed Black human being. And you still made it. We're so proud of you. Thank you for using your collective voice and letting the world know that Black lives matter.
This is an important time of transition. In light of the current state of our country, I struggled to find the right words of wisdom for you today. So I am here today to talk to you, not as the former First Lady, but as a real life person, a mother, a mentor, a citizen concerned about your future and the future of our country.
The killings of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and so many others have left us all broken. It has left the entire country searching for answers.
So if any of you are scared, or confused, or angry, or just plain overwhelmed by it all, if you feel like you're searching for a lifeline just to steady yourself, you are not alone. I am feeling all of that too. I think we all are.
Dear graduates, please remember to take a little bit of time to give thanks to your family members and the community who's been such a big support system for you. You are achieving things your parents and grandparents never could imagine for themselves.
The truth is, when it comes to all those tidy stories of hard work and self-determination that we like to tell ourselves about America, well, the reality is a lot more complicated than that.
Many of the best creatives and business people who, although supremely qualified and talented, were turned down over and over as executives at major corporations because they were female or because of racial disparity.
Because for too many people in this country, no matter how hard they work, there are structural barriers working against them that just make the road longer and rockier.
The entertainment business is still very sexist. It's still very male dominated. And as a woman, I did not see enough female role models given the opportunity to do what I knew I had to do. Not enough Black women had a seat at the table.
We all have no choice but to see what has been staring us in the face for years, for centuries. So the question is, how will we respond? Like I said before, I don't have any easy answers for you, but I do have some lessons I want to share about how to move forward in these tumultuous times. The first is this: life will always be uncertain. It is a lesson that most of us get the chance to learn over the course of years and years, even decades, but one that you're learning right now. This is a time in your life when it feels like everything is turned upside down. And perhaps you're wishing that things could just go back to the way they were. Look, I've been there many times in my life. I felt it most profoundly when my father and my best friend died within a year of each other. I was in my late 20s. Oh, and it felt like my whole world was collapsing in on itself. I would have given anything to bring them back. But that experience gave me a kind of clarity. With everything in pieces around me, I had to forge a new path. A path, fortunately, more focused on meaning and service. So graduates, I hope that what you're going through right now can be your wake-up call, that it pushes you not just to think about what kind of career you want to build, but what kind of person do you want to be?
To the young women, our future leaders, know that you're about to make the world turn. I see you. You are everything the world needs. Make those power moves. Be excellent. And to the young kings, lean into your vulnerability and redefine masculinity. Lead with heart. There's so many different ways to be brilliant. I believe you and every human being is born with a masterful gift. Don't make the world make you feel that you have to look a certain way to be brilliant. And no, you don't have to speak a certain way to be brilliant, but you do have to spread your gift around the planet in a way that is authentically you. To all those who feel different, if you're a part of a group that's called other, a group that does not get the chance to be center stage, build your own stage and make them see you. Your queerness is beautiful. Your Blackness is beautiful. Your compassion, your understanding, your fight for people who may be different from you is beautiful.
In an uncertain world, time-tested values like honesty and integrity, empathy and compassion, that's the only real currency in life. Treating people right will never, ever fail you. Now, I'm not naive. I know that you can climb a long way up the ladder, selling falsehoods and blaming others for your own shortcomings, shunning those with less privilege and advantage. But that is a heavy way to live. It deadens your spirit and it hardens your heart. May seem like a winning strategy in the short run, but trust me, graduates, that kind of life catches up to you. You rob yourself of the things that matter most. Deep and loving connections with others. Honest work that leads to lasting contributions to your community. The vibrancy that comes from a diversity of ideas and perspectives. The chance to leave this world a little better than you found it. Don't deprive yourselves of all that. There is no substitute for it.
Respect is everything. There's no successful relationship without respect, nor a successful movement if the basic principle is not respect. My prayer for you is that you invest in yourself and see the value of giving back and building your community the best way you can. I pray that you continue to celebrate and value lives that appear different than your own. I know you are ready to start one of the most important journeys of your life.
And that is why, even in tough times like these, you continue to be what gives me hope. Graduates, you all are exactly what we need right now, and for the years and decades to come. You're learning so much so quickly, and I know that not only can you do better than those who came before you, you will. So it's your time.
You are at the brink of a huge world shift. Look how far you've come and how much you contributed. Keep pushing. Forget the fear, forget the doubt. Keep investing and keep betting on yourself. And congratulations.
I love you all. I believe in you all. I want you to be safe. And I can't wait to see you take the reins. Congratulations again on your graduation. God bless you.
Class of 2020, new generation. You taught me a thing or two about collaboration, even at your own graduation. Bars! Couldn't help myself. This is probably the first time that I've seen a valedictory speech given with the help and support of so many classmates. A big shout out to Irene, Sylvia, Naomi, India H, CJ, Anna, Shiza, Edwin, India M, Aaliyah, Filmary, Deanna T, Gabe W, Damian, Damari, Tyler, Jalen, and Yolanda Meza. You definitely have gone above and beyond to support your classmate, Christian Nodal, in his valedictory speech. I want to take a moment to just really shout out and highlight this young man. I've seen so much growth and maturity over the 4 years, but the biggest moment for me was when Christian found out that he was a valedictorian. And he said that it was actually at that moment, or before that moment, that he realized the important thing in life was not the striving and the extra credit. It was the journey along that way. And that's when I knew that he had really come into his own. I salute you, Christian, and the rest of your class of 2020, and I cannot wait to see for the amazing things destined for you. And now, let's listen to your speech.
Hello, parents, staff, teachers, any Zoom bombers. Wait. Hold on. Something's not right. Oh, okay. Let me see.
Don't rush, slow touch, brown and white. Like I go country, grab and buy. We can go bust, eye for eye. We can lose trust. White rum, fizzy pop. Where you they go, we they go up. Catch my vibe, let me go off. Blam the trash, man it's so tough.
Alright, yo, put the belly on the body, make a clutch. See no watch, now she wanna give crutch. Boy got peas, now she hopping in the pod. Man a real life sugar gal, and my forget walk. When she want dark, told her meet me at the top. Switching lanes the other day, I seen her waiting for a bus. Maybe this a Moncler sweater, diesel denim. Buy another one, my pockets fat like heather. Neck froze like I don't know no better. Benzo truck, white seats and they leather. Go broke never, on my grind. She make it clap like I'm Busta Rhymes. I got the juice, the sauce and all them things. I blammed her twice a night with all my bling. Big Benz, I drive, I brought that thing. Any girl you want, they were my thing.
Don't rush, slow touch, brown and white. Like I go country, grab and buy. We can go bust, eye for eye. We can lose trust. White rum, fizzy pop. Where you they go, we they go up. Catch my vibe, let me go off. Blam the trash, man it's so tough. Flood my eyes, make a whole blush. Back of the tour bus, getting cool up. D-square, got on de-stress. Got a hand wash, new racks with the old Nikes in the shoebox. Keep my stripes, no cuss. Pull up in a new plate, then she might just. She went tryna move bait when her eyes locked. New tints on a coupe, that's a head loss. Off my whites, right my wrongs. Gucci my mum, while you to do your thumbs. Count my sums, this is gonna get long. Love my green, I'm tryna get strong. Tryna get on, where I'm from, it's on. Yes, man don't take no dumb threats. They see funds, they hop fence. We been up, not up. Next. Don't rush, slow touch, brown and white. Like I go country, grab and buy. We can go bust, eye for eye. We can lose trust. White rum, fizzy pop. Where you they go, we they go up. Catch my vibe, let me go off. Blam the trash, man it's so tough.
That's better. Hello, parents, staff, teachers, any Zoom bombers that may be here, and the class of 2020. Now, despite what many of you may think, no, I did not get extra credit for this speech. Freshman year, we experienced a togetherness that no student would have expected with the Gateway. We met classmates that are the closest to us now and witnessed more than just grit and collaboration. We met teachers that really wanted to get to know us. And we witnessed more than just teaching the curriculum and teaching for a paycheck. Many of us come from schools that treated us horribly. As you look at the supportive, kind, and incredible class, it may be hard to believe, but some of us got into fights with teachers, students, and even our own parents. However, UAG's community proved to be the antithesis of all of that. It gave us a new start. It came at a price, though. A very hefty price. The UAG uniform. I'm pretty sure if she was allowed to, Ms. D would tattoo all of us with a Gateway logo. Just saying. As freshmen, we had our first ever Spirit Week. Miss King, or as we knew her, Miss Santillo, had a bulletin board filled with amazing art. We dressed up in our pajamas and onesies. We outdid it for cosplay day. We went all out. And for what, you ask? For a half day. We were ready to do anything to win that half day. We were unstoppable. Even though Ms. D tried to help the seniors at that time cheat. You remember those pathetic crowns they wore? The irony is, we fought for a half day out of school then. But right now we would do anything to get a half day within school. Classmates, I am proud for every single one of you. I'm proud of all of you for stepping up and grasping the grades necessary to graduate, even if it meant submitting work by cell phone, walking around in circles at home because steps inside are the same as steps outside, or anything else that made it more difficult than it should have been. I'll be honest with you. It gets harder from here. So get ready. However, through that plight, we are responsible. We are responsible for cleansing negative ideas amongst our peers. We are responsible for teaching our children to not take anything for granted. We are responsible for disrupting the norm against the stigmas of society. Finally, we are responsible for having difficult conversations, challenging our friends and family, taking constructive criticism, and moving mountains with our voices. Class of 2020, we did it. Congratulations. Really? Tamid, you're salutatorian. What are you talking about? You're up next, literally. Like, no. Okay, you're gonna go on speaker. Okay.
True. Yo, what's good, my guy? Yo, to me, you want me to do your speech, bro? Nah. What you mean, cuz? Alright, I got you this time, but you owe me, you heard? Alright, bet. What's good, my fellow class of 2020? I know this isn't exactly who you all had in mind, but our good friend Tamid has given me the privilege of delivering a salutatorian speech on his behalf. Years from now, when you look back on your time at UAG, I hope you remember more than our time in quarantine. I hope that you remember all the good times we spent together, all the good eats we had during the Think Cake, all the laughs and jokes we cracked during the skateaway, and of course, the amount of sheer energy it took to yell UAG at the top of your lungs at the end of every core value ceremony. Remember the way Mr. Fitz hit the Usain Bolt to chase people without uniform. The way we all did our work until the very last millisecond before the end of the marking period. And all the fun times we had staying after school just to hang out and talk to our favorite teachers. But I also hope that you remember the amazing things that we accomplished as a family over the last 4 years. From petitioning to go outside for lunch, to forming our own activism groups. We've all proven to be strong and determined people that are not afraid to stand up for what we believe in. It's this duality, this fine balance that defines the UAG way. We all have a cheerful and happy side to ourselves, but are not in the slightest afraid to stand up and be the change we want to see in the world. And it's this same UAG way that I hope every one of us remembers and embraces for years to come. But regardless of the path you choose to take in the coming months and years, know that you will always have an incredibly supportive set of teachers, administrators, and peers that want nothing more than the best for you. There are no amount of words that can describe how thankful I am to be walking into the future with a strong and inspiring group of peers. We've all made it to the finish line, and that's an accomplishment that no one will ever be able to take away from us. So, hold your head high and stand tall knowing that you've made it. Congratulations to you all. Yo, give me a sec. Yo, what's good? Mr. Rigney? Yo, why you calling me, bro? Quarantine attendance? Yo, you're bugging. It's graduation day. What are you talking about attendance, bro? Yo.
Look, Kev? What's up, man? How you doing? I got a quarantine question of the day for you. Yeah, one last one. Listen, who should I give his UAG scholarship to? Okay. All right. For real? Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Him? All right. Her? Okay. All right. Sounds good, man. Appreciate the help. All right. Good lucks. Hey, congrats on your graduation. All right. Peace. All right. Here in this envelope, hot off the press, is the results of the UAG 2020 scholarship. But before I do that, before I read those names, I want to thank our private donors, as well as the Parent Association, all of the fundraising that's been done on behalf of our students. And it's pretty exciting for the 6th year in a row to be able to give away somebody else's money to students who are really deserving for their first year of college, particularly this year with so many budgets and funds being slashed and diverted elsewhere with everything going on. So it's very happy about this effort that our community has made. And now the winners. Award in the amount of $1,000 goes to Bernardo Rodriguez, Baruch College. Award in amount of $1,000 to Janae Bovell, going to Virginia Tech. An award in the amount of $1,000 going to Damari Watkins, Howard University. An award of $1,000 going to Samuel Garcia, UMTC. An award of $1,500 going to Joshua Mejia Leon, Champlain College. An award of $2,000 going to Sipacorn, you all know him and love him. $2,000 award going to Emmanuel Agbabader, NYU. An award of $2,000 going to Emmanuel Lugo, Carnegie Mellon. An award of $2,000 going to Irene Asada, Geneseo. And an award of $2,000 going to Christian Nodal, Manhattanville College. And then additionally this year, I'm happy to report that we have 2 community contribution awards And those go to Michael Guerrero, Queens College, $1,000 award, and Jernisha Dolphin, Brandeis University, $1,000. Congratulations to all, and congrats to the entire class of 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Rigney. Without you and Mr. Nicholas, our students could not have had the amazing success in getting into colleges this year as they did. We appreciate you, and we're humbled to work with you. And now, a special award from everyone's favorite 10th grade counselor, Mr. Traversa.
Well, what do we have here? The Urban Assembly Richard Kahn 2020 Resilient Scholar Award? I know about that. Since 2016, the Urban Assembly has given the Richard Kahn Resilient Scholar Award to a senior student who has shown tremendous resiliency throughout their high school journey. This student has consistently demonstrated improvement in many of the social and emotional competencies that are crucial before graduation from high school. I am honored to present this award to, wow, this is heavy, to Isaiah Papp. Amazing job, Isaiah. There is so much that is admirable about Isaiah's journey since he arrived at our school, but my request for a full-length documentary was denied, so here are just a few highlights. Isaiah seamlessly integrated into our school as a transfer student in his sophomore year after a difficult freshman year in a different state. Skip forward to senior year at a time when most students are hit with senioritis, and he has been challenging himself further and staying on top of all of it. His desire to learn and be in school is inspiring to me. Congratulations, Isaiah. I'm looking forward to seeing all the amazing things you do. And I just have to figure out how to get this thing to you.
Good afternoon, UAG graduates. It's shine time. You've worked for this moment for 4 hard years. So listen up for your name. And families, prepare to cheer your graduate on.
Kaylee Abreu. Emmanuel Agbavitor. Alvaro Alejandro. Edwin Almanzar. Michael Alvarado. Ronnie Amparo. Sartak Anand. Babakar Ba. Naomi Bergoglio. Kareem Bey. Janae Bovell. Jada Brown. Keyshawn Brown. Corrine Butler. Joseph Cabrera. Malik Carter. Naomi Cepeda. David Chen. Jermaine Colon. Andre Cowell. Ibrahim Dan Sally. Filmari de Jesus. Sufiani Diakite. David Diaz. Francisco Diaz. Giorgio Diorio. Jernisha Dolphin. Karina Edwards. Irene Esada. Jalen Florentino. Brian Gao. Christopher Garcia. Kevin Garcia. Samuel Garcia. Yofranly Gomez. Elthon Gonzalez. Vaughn Gordon.
Michael Guerrero. Nigel Harris. India Haywood. Kayvon Holloman Terrain. Nazar Hostin. Tamid Hussein. Anastasia Iwaki. Christopher Johnson. Denasia Johnson. Shania Johnson. Greg Cost. Aaliyah Lawrence. Matisse Leite Cortez. Joshua Leon Mejia. Shaquan Lewis. Samuel Lamachi. Yulin Liu. Emmanuel Lugo. Emiliano Maldonado. Marcos Martinez. Kevin Medina. Elismi Mejia. Jasmine Mejia. Yolanda Meza. Karen Moina. India Mantu. Christopher Morel Ortiz. Sheriar Nasir. Joshua Nina. Christian Nodal. Tyler Norid. Diana Noriega Leal. David Oriana. Karen Pablo. Sylvia Palmer. Isaiah Papp. Minerva Paulino. Sky Perez. Alba Portoviejo. Alden Rejpajic. Michael Rivera. Bernardo Rodriguez. Jason Rojas. Eric Romero. Christian Ross. Amari Saab. Shiza Salman. David Sanchez Ordonez. Sipacorn Sornwared. Josiah Spivey. Brian Steele. Jael Suarez. Christian Sidney. Augustin Tejeda Kubaletti. Diana Tibau. Damian Teneo. Dionisio Teneo. Gabriel Torres. Diana Towns. Wesley Trujillo. Jalen Tudor. Hander Llorena. Alejandro Uruchima. Darian Felipe Vasquez. Nisa Ward. Damari Watkins. Gabriel Wharton. Caleb Williams. Emily Williams. Brian Zapata. Congratulations. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, Ms. Dvorakovskaya will officially declare the conferral of all UA Gateway Class of 2020 graduates.
All right, seniors, here we go. The moment that you go from seniors to graduates. Get your cameras ready, get your caps on, move that tassel to the right, move the tassel to the right. And so, as the principal of the Urban Assembly Gateway School for Technology, I'm not ready. You know what? Everyone's been doing this Don't Rush challenge, and I think I kind of want to give it a try. I'm going to use this hat because it's pretty awesome. Let's see what happens. All right, guys. We're not doing this pre-recorded. This one's happening live. I'm gonna unmute everyone. Hey guys.
We made it.
Made it, baby. Let's go.
They graduated.
Graduation?
Don't
worry about that.
As the principal of the Urban Assembly Gateway School for Technology, I certify that these seniors have met all of the requirements set forth by the New York City Department of Education and the State of New York. By the power vested in me, I hereby declare the class of 2020 new generation to be the graduates of the Urban Assembly Gateway School for Technology. You may move your tassel to the left.
My mama called, see you on TV. Sunset done changed. Ever since we was on, I dreamed it all. Ever since I was young, they said I won't be nothing. Now they always say congratulations. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. They ain't never had the dedication. People hating, say we changing, look, we made it. Yeah, we made it. They was never friendly, yeah. Now I'm jumping out of Bentley, yeah. And I know I sound dramatic, yeah. But I know I had to have it, yeah. For the money, I'm a savage, yeah. I be itching like I had it, yeah. I'm surrounded 20 bags, yeah. But they didn't know me last year, yeah. Everyone wanna act like they important.
Congratulations, graduates. There's so much ahead of you and so much that I wish I could express in words, but unfortunately there are not enough words to express how I feel. But luckily I have some really good help and some really good music to express it in song. So I'm gonna give this a try. Let's see what happens. What? Oh, this is sweet, yo. All right, I believe the children are the future. Well, you know what this means. There's only one thing left to do now. Turn up.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. This one's explosive.
It's supposed to be black.
reppin' NYC. Then turn this whole party up 800 degrees. Team Fleet, yelling for a treat. T. Smith, Kursky, Crucy, hold on to your seats.
I'm a graduate, check my grades past it. Party's real lit cause the transcripts match it. Hood but we classy, nice but we sassy. Haters keep the G out your mouth that you be gagging. Brewski. The way we cheer you on, it's a movie. I told Miss C we gotta do our flow, leave us a school key. We done zoomed a lot, these grades is hot, Smith and Brewski. A mood and we moody. I'm a graduate. Class of 2K Fancy. Regents took them, passed it. Acting stupid, what's happening? Smith, what's happening? Smith, I'm a graduate. Class of 2K Fancy. Regents took them, passed it. Acting stupid, what's happening? Smith, what's happening? Smith.
Phone unlocked when I glance. Getting on that grind, she might update her LinkedIn's. Study all that tech, we still got them bands. If you want real scholars in your class, here's your chance. I say left click, right click, get it ran Duran. IT up in this thing, put you up in this game. Coding getting us fame. Fame. If you don't climb all these trees up, baby, you don't feel my pain. Hold up, please don't get this tight. Write your claim real nice. We don't argue with no lazy students, come to go tonight. We write code and delete it, we network and white and teeth. Yeah, told my mama I'm a graduate, with or without quarantine. Yeah,
I'm a graduate. Class of 2K Vanty. Regents took them, passed it. Acting stupid, what's happening? Smith, what's happening? Smith, I'm a graduate. Class of 2K Vanty. Regents took them, passed it. Acting stupid, what's happening? Smith, what's happening? Like T. Smith say, like me. They want the big brain students with degrees. They be like, dang, how they learn like that in quarantine. Even schools like Yale couldn't do it like we.
Now we got this party ready just for you. Y'all, I hope you remember us and come on through. Come on, talk to me and thinking like, miss you, my boo.
I'm legit, ooh. I got my shirt, my mask, my hat is too much drip, ooh. I keep a mouse, I keep a brush, I keep a script, ooh. Let's play a game, Simon says I'm a graduate, ooh. I'm a graduate, I'm a graduate. Class of 2K Banty. Regents took them, passed it. Acting stupid, what's happening? Smith, what's happening? Smith, I'm a graduate. Class of 2K Banty. Regents took them, passed it. Acting stupid, what's happening? Smith, what's happening?
I heard they asking for diplomas, fame brought cameras in here. It's not magic, you a graduate, hold your head with no fear. You gon' flip your grad caps cause all the work that you did. All this love in the room, been had for 4 years.
UAG, yeah, you heard, TCE, earned it. Google class, you learn to keep your mind focused, observe. Time for like a bird, senior year, I blur. Always do our work, never cheat, yeah, we earn. Scholar when I'm writing like that research, I finish. I typed it out and then I put footnotes in it. I hit turn and I watch me drop my pen. I stop the show, now watch me start up again.
I'm a graduate. Class of 2K Banty. Regents took them, passed it. Acting stupid, what's happening? Smith, what's happening? Smith, I'm a graduate. Class of 2K Vanty. Regents took them, passed it. Acting stupid, what's happening? Smith, what's happening? Smith, I'm a graduate.
Gateway, class of 2020. The chalk may fade, but the memories will last forever. Love you guys. Congratulations.